Welcome to Healing Through Dentistry podcast,
where we redefine health, wellness, and the power of your smile.
We're your hosts,
Hanna
and Eva, twin sisters, qualified dentists and medical doctors.
This is more than a dental podcast.
It's a journey into profound connection between oral health and whole body healing.
Through personal stories, inspiring client transformations, and expert insights,
we explore how dentistry can ignite energy, relieve chronic pain, and transform lives.
Get ready to discover the extraordinary ways your smile can heal, inside and out.
Let's begin.
Hello and welcome to the next episode of Healing Through Dentistry. And we are in the midst of summer, so we are recording a summer series which are all about inspiration. It's about people, books, documentaries, and self-development we love. And so we'd like to share it with you. So today it is about
Vishen Lakhiani,
the man,
and his platform Mindvalley. So I feel this education is changing people's life, and I would add that this, if anybody is thinking what to study, I encourage everybody to take a look on Mindvalley platform, because he is inspiring people with very inspiring other people to do anything you think of. So you would have courses on hypnotherapy, you would have courses about exercises, you would have courses about relationship, you would have courses at any area you need and you're going through. So let's say that you are separating from your partner, your husband. So you would have a look at conscious uncoupling, which was very well known for Gwyneth Paltrow when she was going through her conscious uncoupling with Ricky Martin. And actually it was also Vishen's story that he said in one interview, he said what was the most challenging for him in his life. So he said also a divorce after 19 years with his wife, but what really was very beneficial was the conscious uncoupling.
Yeah, so you do, like Eva said, this is a platform which maybe let's just say who Vishen Lakhiani is. Like he is amazing, extraordinary guy who has had this dream of, helping others or to be of service to others. And actually it started with the Silva method, right? Which he is actually coming from, let's just start from the beginning. He's coming from Malaysia originally. But, it's going to be a longer story, but he happened to be in States. He used to work there and he started as a young person I think he's an engineer, but he started as a young person to work somewhere. And because it wasn't his profession or the only work he could do was...
Yeah, because there was a crisis. So I know the story, the way that there was a US crisis, no work. He just qualified and he needed any work. So the only work he could find was on call work, which he was meant to sell software for lawyers.
Or insurances or something like software, was it?
Yeah, and he said that he never heard so many F words on phone than when he started working there. Anyway, he started using the Silva Method, which is basically tuning into intuition. And that day he was going through yellow pages and he was looking for phones for all the lawyers all around the country. And he picked the ones who would buy the product. And he became the best seller in the company. He became the head of the company, or, in the best employee of the decade. And then he decided to leave the company and follow his dream for education, because I think he had been inspired he knew that what changes the world, and he knew it would be the education.
That's right. Yeah. He also saw how the Silva Method, by the way, it's on Mindvalley as well, is helping him that much, like Eva said, that he became the best in the company of selling the software using, the principles and methodology of that teaching. And maybe just quickly, the Silva Method or Jose da Silva was someone like, if you guys know Joe Dispenza, we've mentioned so many times before. So he is someone similar to him, but in 60s, 70s, and 80s. And it's quite interesting how he started, because he started to this Jose da Silva, I think he was Mexican, right? Mm-hmm. He has had 10 kids, and he started to play with, consciousness and intuition. And he felt like he cracked the code how to, be intuitive, how to connect to others, and how to, even download the stuff. And he said, I'm just going to train my kids to prove you. And he trained one of his daughter, and it was that magical and miraculous to that extent that not that one stage that she not even could answer his questions, let's say on geography, but she was answering the question before he even said it. Meaning, he didn't have to ask when was such and such, and she did say the year, let's say. So this was amazing. And he shared that with some scientists, and they said, no, this is nonsense. It's just, exception, and your daughter is exceptional, and it's rare. And he said, no. On that base, he said he's going to teach all of his kids. So he taught all of
the neighbors' kids.
And the neighbors' kids. And then domino effect, like whole village and the town realized or recognized the teaching. And everyone, of course, wanted to know this technique. Then, celebrities in States used it. And it was quite popular. And I know that Vishen Lakhiani is, to this date, he's advocate of the Silva. And I think he's like a face of his teaching, because he passed away some time ago.
And the key is that we are all one. It's oneness. It's not separation. So that's why the children are more prone to tap into intuition and see things, hear things. And they're more open to this till the age of 9, they say. But then all the programming, all the systems we are going through is closing up. So it's for us adults to tap into this learning, and you can learn from his app, his platform, the Silva Method, but it applies to any area of your life.
Yeah, he's got mind, body, soul, but also business. There are so many amazing business leaders of the world. There is, I am thinking of Jim Kwik. We took this like years and years ago. So I'm thinking back, but Jim Kwik was the fast reading, right? That is amazing. That is a guy who has had, again, his story. I'm fascinated by the stories, why people do what they do, because Jim Kwik had some kind of his disability when he was a child, and he couldn't even read. He was dyslexic, and, I think he's had some kind of a trauma, right? A head trauma. And he really did have difficulties to remember stuff. And again, like, let's cut the long story short, he happened to hold a inspiring book which has inspired him. And he said, I am gonna learn everything what I can about a brain, about neuroscience and neuropathies, like how does that work? And I'm just gonna cure myself, but also I'm just gonna then inspire others. And so I love his YouTube video when he asked 200 people next to each other, what's your name? And you can watch it on YouTube, you can Google it. And he asked the names of 200, not 20, 200 people. Then, he's like, John, Hanna, Eva, Patrick, and you go on. And then he listened to them. And then when they finish, he said the names from vice versa again. So he can remember 200 names. And I think he shares in YouTube, he says, I'm not, like showing up to prove you I'm just someone else. I'd like to prove you what is possible, what is within us that we can achieve, because every single of us, we've got the ability. It is just about the training. So just like now, Eva, we're training our strength training, the muscles in a gym. It's the same with the brain muscle, and it's the same with the memory, and it's the same with the thought. So no one can say they can't do it. It's really about the practice.
And he's teaching you the tactics, techniques, how to expand your mind. And that's Jim Kwik for me.
And how to read quickly, like how you can read like a book a day. Is it possible? Yes, it is.
Amazing guy. So for me, one of that sticks out is Emily Fletcher and her meditation. So I think that's where the meditation started for me. And she beautifully, and I love the stories again, why she does what she does. She was a professional dancer or ballerina, dance ballerina, and she was very on high level and she was burned out. She just didn't enjoy it and she was looking for what to do. And then she started meditating and now she's a leader in walking you through meditation. And I remember that it's hard at the beginning. I remember, for me to close eyes for 5 minutes was very difficult, but it's all like a muscle. If you stick to it, if you do it every day for a few minutes, you will very soon tune in to what it is and you actually start feeling better and better and more relaxed and more rejuvenated.
Yeah, and that's correct, Eva, and that's what we kind of repeat on very regularly. It's the calming of our nervous system, because that's what is healing. Like in a time where we live at the moment, where you can do a million things at one time, you've got 10,000 tasks, you've got 10,000 opportunities to travel, to do stuff, to watch on Netflix, and everything is at hand. And that's what's very distracting, because our brains and our bodies are like, whoa, constantly on alert almost, and the body doesn't actually switch off. So the meditation for us, and it's right, we start with Emily, and that's probably about 8-10 years ago now. And it's funny because since Emily, and thank you, Emily, we have practiced our muscles and our bodies into meditation. So we can do a meditation for an hour and a half. Or with Joe Dispenza, there was one a lying down meditation, which was, that wasn't a lying down meditation. Mm-hmm. It was a sitting down meditation for almost 5 hours. And you can imagine how concentrated you must be to actually do it.
The frequency of the neuroactivity is so beautiful that you feel that it was just so quick. It's okay, is that it? And you're feeling 5 hours later. That's what it is when we use in our clinic the new calm technology, which is actually alpha theta waves. And it was actually developed for a family, because in one family there was abuse of alcohol.
Maybe let's talk about this in the next episode, because that's a beautiful story, and I'd like to touch on it more, and that's going to be for a few minutes. But yes, you're right, we do use alpha theta waves, which gets you into parasympathetic and relaxes you, and it's the healing mode. So just maybe to last few sentences before we finish, definitely like to mention again Mindvalley platform, which is in my eyes, and I think that's what Vishen wanted to create anyway. It's like a university of a new century, because you basically, even kids, if they decide not to go to the uni anymore, and if they decide to invest their monies into this platform, they can become anything, because it is so great. And not a long time ago, make it available, or it is available on all the Apple devices, so Apple stores. So you can
big win for the company.
Yeah, so well done. I think they've won some kind of a reward for amazing education and app. So you can all look it up, and what you might hear, you'll be very happy about that. It is much cheaper than it used to be. Yeah. So now I think it's for a year for $100, which in my eyes, if you consider what they do and what you get there, from Marisa Peer hypnotherapy to Jim Kwik, but also to the newest about AI, everyone's concerned now about artificial intelligence. I highly recommend you to grab it, sign up, and little by little, because it can be quite overwhelming. When we first had it, we wanted to do everything, but it's not possible. But there's a system which, they will tell you and, make sure that you're not overwhelmed and you finish one thing before you go to another. But we highly recommend it, and kudos to Vishen. And Eva, we didn't talk about the book he wrote.
No, yes, the best book, and it was also awarded as the most sold book in worldwide, is called The Code of Extraordinary Mind. And I have to say that you learn in the book a lot. So if you're a reader, grab the book for a holiday and read The Code of Extraordinary Mind.
Yeah, we've got it somewhere here also.
Yes. So thank you for listening. Thank you, Vishen Lakhiani. We're big fans. Thank you.
Take care and see you in the next episode.
Thank you for joining us on Healing Through Dentistry podcast.
We hope today's conversation has inspired you to see your smile as the gateway to whole body well-being.
To stay connected, visit us on our website or follow us on social media.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who could benefit.
Until next time, remember, healing starts with a smile.
Take care,
and we will see you in the next episode.